Hello everyone, and welcome to Mark No Horsemanship. Here we are on a beautiful Tuesday. Sun's out, warm temperatures. It's probably 60 degrees. Strange for this time of year, but it is what it is. Here we are with a 3-year-old. I think they told me she was Paint Horse and Percheron Cross. Her name is Bailey. Do you remember this horse's name?
No.
I'll have to get back to you all on the name. I just saw it. The owner just texted me and asked me how she did, and I have forgot her name. I apologize. You'll see it when you read the video. By the time you hear me running my mouth, you'll know her name. But anyway, here we are with her. She's here to be started. When I say started, critiquing her on everything that I see in her that needs critiqued on now, all the way up to riding. She's a big hardy mare, big healthy mare, big boned, strong. That's that Percheron in her, and who knows, the paint could have been a big muscled up something too. So regardless, she's kind of thick. I say all that to say this: she's kind of thick, and when I say thick, they're just big. They're just big boned. They don't have a whole lot of feel to them yet. I noticed it when I loaded her down at the facility where she was at. Beautiful facility in down near Draper, Virginia. Actually, it's Dublin, Virginia. I'm sorry. Beautiful facility down that way, just big wide open pastures. It was a beautiful place. But I noticed when I led her from the gate over to the trailer, she was just kind of all over me. And just mauling all over me. If I stopped, she kept walking. Now, she wasn't hollering and being belligerent. She was just big, like a tank, just pushing over you. And really, to be honest, she wasn't pushing over you out of disrespect. She was pushing over me because she don't know any better. So there's a big difference there. A lot of horses will maul over you, and they know exactly what they're doing. I would have to say this horse is pretty innocent. I just don't think she knows. She don't know that she ain't supposed to maul over you. But she also don't know that she is. So that's a big difference. But they still have to be taught. So the first thing that I like to do for horses is kind of just not respecting your space. Y'all may have seen me do this a time or two. Now sometimes I'll use a whip, and sometimes I'll use this flag. And I think with her I'm going to use the flag. And what I do is I just walk around this pen and I prepare myself with my rope, and I'll put this rope in my left hand and I'll sort of wrap it around me like right here. That way if she pulls back or something, I can kind of control her a little bit. But what I want to do is when I play this game, when I stop, you stop. When I back up, you back up. Now, to get it that way, what I just said, you got to start off being a little bit assertive, like right there. Now you seen her head fly back, and she was like, "Oh my goodness, she's licking them lips now." That's a good sign, or a good thing. She's thinking about it. So, why did she react to it the way she did? Well, she reacted to it the way she did because she's never been really, like I said, she's innocent. She's not been taught anything good or bad, if that makes sense. And I was purposely hoping that whip didn't, or that flag didn't do that, because my back ain't quite as limber as it used to be. But anyway, she did it, but she's not doing it out of belligerence. She's not doing it out of disrespect. She just don't know either way. Now those I have a lot of patience with. I try to have a lot of patience with all of them. But there are some horses, just like people, they are hard to have patience with, but you have to. You have to swallow your pride and go and try to help these things out as much as you can. So right here, I'm just going to walk her around. You can see she's a little bit reluctant to lead now, and I don't mind that. I mean, I'll work on that as we go, but I'm going to do this again over here right in front of you again so you can see the reaction. Now I'm just going to stop. I'm simply going to ask her to walk. Right there. She finally freed them feet up and backed up. Now there's one thing I want you to notice, or actually two things. The first thing is I do not hit her. Now if I had to, I would do an undershot right here and maybe come up and peck that chest a little bit, that brisket. That's the first thing I want you to notice. I'm not being mean. but I'm being assertive. Second thing I want you to notice is that I let her soak. That's so important to let these horses soak right here for a moment or two before you just fly up and go again. So we're just going to keep on keeping on here. We got traffic up and down the road today. Oh, it's beautiful. People get out on these warm days, and they really enjoy it, and I don't blame them. So right here, what I'm going to do before I take off again, I'm just going to simply see if what I'm doing is working. I'm going to put a little talk in her here, right here, and I'm just going to say, hey, would you please back up right here, right there. Now she started to not because she knows she's getting close to that wall. I'll have forgiveness for that. So we'll walk forward right here, get her to leading forward, and then I'm simply going to stop, back up. Look at there. Now I don't even have to use my flag. I thought I wasn't going to have to. Get her back up right here and teaching her to obey and to respect my space. Let her think about that briefly. We'll rock her off. We'll try to get that left front foot right there. Come forward. That left front foot, there it comes. Get it unstuck. Now we'll come over here to this right front foot. There we go. Just kind of walk her back and forth here. Why is she being like this? Well, she's actually starting to think about what? Or who? Me. She's starting to think, hey, I think I need to respect this guy, instead of just walking over me. So I'll continually work on that as we go. Now right here, what I want to do is probably just go ahead and teach her to do a little bit of direct and drive. So right here, I'm going to direct her to my left, and I'm going to drive her with this hand, and just drive her forward, just like that. Teaching this horse to move out. Now what's the purpose in lunging a horse? Has anyone ever explained that to you? Well, hey, I'm going to give you my explanation for it. And you can agree or disagree, but in my opinion, from what I gathered, I think they should call this a disciplined. The other hindquarters right here. Good job. I think that they should call this a disciplined exercise, because that's what it's all about. It's discipline. That's why we lunge her. That's why I lunge her. I want to be the dictator. Yes, I said dictator, that tells them when to move, what direction to move, how to move, and all that. And once I can do that, you see, then I have them listening to me. Now, ultimately, my goal is to get these horses to where they listen to whomever. You got to remember, and I'm going to start reminding viewers of this more and more and more, is that my job is not to get these horses to where I can ride them. My job is to get these horses nice to where the owner can ride them. So I have to evaluate the owner along with the horse and ask questions like, how experienced are you? Can you ride a horse? I mean, that's a big plus right there. If you don't have good balance, then there's no use in for me to be going much further until you learn to ride. So there's all kinds of things to come into play on this journey of getting this horse saddled and getting this horse ridden. But I have to remind you, I'm not doing it so I can ride it. I'm not bragging. I'm not a bronc rider by no means. But the horses that the average person would probably have trouble riding, I would make it look like that horse was more trained. In other words, I've got experience. So for me to say it's okay to ride might not be true for you. So I really have to get these horses nice. And that's where time comes in. And time always runs into what? Good old greenback. And I don't do it just for the money, but I do have to get paid. It's how I feed my family. This is all we do. My wife works 2 days a week, and she raises corgi dogs and makes a good living off of that. But this is, other than those two things, this is how we eat. So I have to get paid for it. But it does run into time, and when time gets started, then it gets into money. So if you're interested in bringing a horse to someone like me or someone like me, then always take in consideration your finances, because I don't really like to be on a 30-day time clock. 60 days is much better. 90 days is even more better. More better than good, as the old Cajun cook used to say. More better than good. But seriously speaking, always be prepared financially. I couldn't do it if I had to send a horse out for 3-4 months training. I could, but it would be pretty hard on my little nest egg. So always take that in consideration. So right here, we're going to send her out to the right, drive her with my left hand, send her to my right. She's never been lunged, I don't think, before. And what is this doing again? It's teaching this horse discipline. It's teaching this horse that I can move her feet, I can control her feet, and that I am what? Leader, dictator. I'm dominant. For years, I tippy-toed around all of those terminologies. Dictator, dominant, and leader. Because it just don't sit well with some folks. Well, you know, I preach sometimes too. I preach, I'm an evangelist, and sometimes I do preach in different churches the gospel of Jesus Christ. And I found out that if you're going to worry about stepping on everybody's toes, then you might as well not even open your mouth, because you're not going to make everybody happy. And preaching the gospel is totally different than what I'm talking about now. But let's get back to what I'm talking about now. I tippy-toed around those 3 words for years because, I didn't want to offend someone. Well, I don't want to offend you. I got a good heart. I got a big heart. I got a kind heart. But if using that terminology does offend you, then, seriously speaking, you may consider not even being a horse person. Because we do need to be dominant. We do need to dictate what they do. And we do need to be leaders. So take it for what it's worth. I didn't say beaters. I said leaders. I liked it. I just come up with that. I didn't say beaters. I said leaders. So let's just get her moving again here. Teaching her what? Just like I just said. Teaching her that I can dictate her feet. Now let me stop right here and do something and show y'all something, because I like these to be educational. Do you notice that when I took her out to the left, that I just let her go? Well, she's starting to, and she don't know she's doing it. She's starting to want to kind of just slice by me. So let's break this down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get that shoulder over first. So right here, we're going to step that shoulder over right there, and we're going to stop her. We're going to let her know. We're going to let her know that that's what she needs to do before she just takes off and goes by me. So I'm going to point again, and then I'm going to step that shoulder over right there and let her know that that's the way that she needs to go by me and around me, is out and around, not slice by me. So we'll do that again. This time we'll let her go. Take that shoulder right there. That's good. Get this little mama moving here. So while she's moving, I'm working on several things. Forwardness. I'm working on forwardness and giving. She don't need to be tugging on me. Right here she's saying, hey, I think I'm starting to lose weight. Can I stop? And I'm saying, well, look, I'm not going to run you ragged, but you got a little bit more in you than that. So right here, I'll yield these hindquarters. Right there. Go under my rope. Swap hand. Move this shoulder over. She said, okay, I'll move it over. Wrong way, though. Right there. Now move that shoulder over and move her out. Just working on this disciplined move right here. There's a book out called The Disciplined Horse by Pat Puckett. I think that's the name of the book. I hope I'm not destroying his title. Pat Puckett is a good horseman. I think a lot of him, he don't know that because he don't know me, but I watch his YouTube videos a lot, and he's got a book. I think, well, I don't know if it's a book or not, but it may just be I'll just shut up before I ruin it for him. But he's got a title on something, whether it's his title of his YouTube channel or if it's a book. I'll have to check on that. But anyway, it's called The Disciplined Horse, and I like that. That's the way these horses should be, is disciplined. So that don't mean cruelty when it comes to getting them that way. So right here, we're just letting her soak. We're letting her think about it. This is a strange place to her. I'm going to reach out here while she is sitting here soaking, and I'm just going to rub her with my tool. her know it's not going to hurt her. Right here, now. Just rub her with it. Let her know, look, just because it makes you move your feet don't mean that you have to be frightened of it. So I'll just keep rubbing her here until she stops. And I'll outline her with it just to let her know it's her friend and it's not going to hurt her. It could whop her on the butt a time or two if she made me, but all in all, it's not going to hurt you. Right here, now. Just outline her body with it. She's having a little bit of trouble with it on this side. She needs to move her feet. That's fine by me. Now let her know that by moving her feet, it lets her know that she don't have to move her feet. Now that right there, let me stop there and talk about that just a minute. That phrase that I just said is worth $1 million. Let them move their feet so they'll know they don't have to move their feet. If you're wanting a horse to stand still, then let it move its feet. I know that don't sit well or make sense to a lot of folk. But if you make the wrong thing difficult and the right thing easy, in other words, if they don't want to be still, then you move their feet. If you turn it into your idea, or there's two ways to look at that. If they're being that way because they're just being belligerent and don't want to listen, then that's when you get after them a little bit and make moving their feet difficult. But if they're just moving their feet because they may be alarmed at something, like this flag, you know, when I started rubbing her back here, she moved her feet. Now that, I'm going to let her move her feet. I'm going to let her know that, because that's her way of seeing if whatever's touching her is okay. She needs to move, she needs to look at it, maybe get it in another angle of her eye or something like that. So then I'll let them move their feet. And then I'll let them move their feet too if they're being belligerent, but I'll dictate it. I'll lead it. There comes them words again. I'll dominate them into standing still by moving their feet if they're doing it in a belligerent way. But not to repeat myself again, but if they move because they're a little bit alarmed, then I'm going to let them move their feet to let them know they don't have to. In other words, let them get comfortable with it. So right here, we'll move her out again. Let me stand out here and do it correctly. Move out here and move this shoulder over first. Move this shoulder over right there. Go out and go around me. We're about done with, I wished I could remember her name. But you will see it on the title. I got ready to call her Pearl. I don't know if it's Pearl or not, but we'll say it's Pearl for now. We'll move little Pearl out right here. I think it may be Pearl. We'll see. You'll know it before you even watch it, because I'll put it in the title. Or it will be in the title. I always get mixed up doing that, because I always say I'll put it in there, but by the time y'all see it, it will already be put in there. It's kind of confusing. Or I'm just dumb one. Maybe I'm simple. What do you think, babe?
Simple.
My own daughter called her daddy simple. Can you believe that? You're supposed to say, Daddy, you're not simple. You're the smartest man ever, besides Jesus Christ.
But you are.
See? All right. I knew Bailey still loved me. Jessie Ann said a while ago on the other video that she did that she was my Valentine. Do you want to be my Valentine too?
Yeah.
Oh man, I got 3 Valentines. I got my wife Burgundy, my youngest Jessie Ann, and my oldest Bailey. She's not really my oldest. I've got an older daughter too, but I guess she would be my middle child. Bailey would. And so anyway, we are going to just have a good old time today. We might try to get out of this barn early enough. Mama gets home from work probably around 5 or 5:30 this evening. We might try to have supper cooked. What do you think, babe?
Good. She gets off about 4 or 4:30 then.
Gets off about 4 or 4:30. What do you think we ought to make her?
Some steak maybe or
She
something.
likes Chinese, but I can't make Chinese.
We could go get it.
No, we ain't going to get it. You know Daddy, he's a homebody. He likes to stay home.
Yeah. We can make some mashed potatoes and some steak and some peas.
Mashed potatoes, steak, and peas. Boy, that sounds pretty good. Any of y'all want to come on over for supper? What, Sissy?
Or hamburgers.
Or hamburgers. Y'all, anybody watching, just come on over for supper. Of course, by the time you see this, we will have already eaten. So anyway, let me move this big old horse out again. We'll get that shoulder right there. I didn't like how she took out, so we'll stop her right here. And I'm going to say, listen here. Move that shoulder out and away from me, like right there. Now, I just kind of, now let me tell you, I don't get in a big hurry the first 2, 3, 4 days of a horse being here. Why not? Because they don't have a clue where they're at. They're out of their comfort zone. All today was an introduction to the pen. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take her halter around this pen and get to know it a little bit. So I hope you enjoyed that with this horse. And I feel silly because I called her by the wrong name, and by the time y'all see this, you'll see the right name. But it gets confusing. It don't take much to confuse me. Now, Bailey, I tell you, when I have a good session with a horse, now I've mentioned a time or two that me and my wife, we've been watching a cowboy cook by the name of Kent Rollins, I think it's Rollins. Kent Rollins. He's a cowboy cook, a Dutch oven cook, and man, he makes things look good. I like him because he's all cowboy. But whenever he takes a bite of whatever he made on that episode, he always does a happy dance because it makes him happy. And Bailey, I tell you, when I get done with these horses, I feel happy, especially if I have a good session. So I'm going to try to kind of copy Kent Rollins here, and I'm going to start doing a little happy dancing. I see I got this long-maned horse here, so I think I'll just yee-haw. I think I'll just ride this old horse around. Come on, boy. Come on. Yee-haw. Pearl says, Lord, have mercy. He's lost his bazonkers. But anyway, she says, I'm going back to the stall. Anyway, I did a little happy dance there. Just going to come in here and get a hold of Pearl here.
He's
I'll
crazy.
think if they walk off and get away from you like that, I shouldn't be acting so goofy. But it's fun to act goofy. Just have to catch her eye there and get in there. So, hope y'all enjoyed that happy dance. And this video, we will be doing more on her. We get her up here where she can say bye, y'all. She says, man, this dude here is a whack job. But anyway, I'm not a whack job. I'm a blood-bought, born-again, covered by Jesus' blood, born-again Christian that's just happy. I love my girls. I love my life now that Jesus has came into my heart. And I'm just happy. There's nothing like that Jesus' joy down inside of you. But I hope you enjoyed this. God bless you. If you get a chance, just say a prayer for America. It's a great country that we live in. As you know, if you're out there, you know that it's not in a good way right now with leadership. Pray for our leadership, but most of all, rely on God above, because He's already got it planned out. He knows what He's doing, and He will prevail. So we love you. We thank you for watching, and God bless you.